to quote something that was mentioned yesterday. There was buy, build, or create, or partner. Partner. Because again, when it comes to people you want to partner with, there was one target, and he used a very good example. It really touched me, considering where we are right now. It's either if you want to get number 2, you decide to start from on the ground, or you go to someone who's already established and you move along. Senior. Now, here we are, and today we are looking to partner with KETSA, and we are looking at 2 angles. I know one of the headaches that we've been hearing from the partners that we have is on real estate solutions, and we have quite a number of us that have quite a big chunk of land that we are not sure what we want to do with it. So for that financial kwashiako, we are here to give that advice. Number 2, we are also looking at partnering with you in terms of investment opportunities, and like it was mentioned, we want the SACCOs to do what they were meant to do. If it's an occupational SACCO, it is savings and credit, right? And then when it comes to the investment bit, yesterday Professor Ogeola gave us a very good head start. We want SACCOs to participate in the economy. To learn a construction, haikumanisha construction ya barabara. It means invest in a construction opportunity that you can be able to take up. We've seen issues with milk processing SACCOs. Si tunajua vile zinaenda sahi, wako na produce mingi, but it's not moving in the market. Isn't that an opportunity that such SACCOs can take up? When you have a teacher SACCO that partners with a milk processing SACCO, number 1, the milk processor gets to increase their customer base. Number 2, you get an opportunity to invest in that milk processing. But what is happening? We are all pulling on our end, and the members that are in processing are also pushing their members on their end. And we've seen this in Murema, it's been happening. So let me start. Gulfcap Africa is an investment company that has interests in real estate. My colleagues are somewhere in the booklet. We've been able to bring a little Dubai to Kenya. Not the normal construction of estates that you are able to see, but estates in affordable housing. We'll present that in a few. Power, oil and gas. If you've ever seen petrol stations, Gulf Energy, that was Gulf Africa Partners. Again, you have Gulf Power, where we are actually selling power to Kenya Power. So this is something that we've been able to do. Then in banking, we have Gulf African Bank. It's the first Islamic Sharia bank in Kenya. And we have Gulfcap Investment Bank, which is, I can say this is like the umbrella that is hosting all this. Then we have Kilua Resort. It is just next, Upper June. It's called Kilua Paradise. So that is also hospitality industry we're there. And now we are actually coming up with Mombasa International University. This will be hospitality as well as a nursing college. We are also partnering with one of the top 3 hospitals in Kenya to deliver this. Okay? So next thing, I want my colleague, Geoff, to take you through the kind of partnership that you're looking at and the areas and where we are going to plug and play. Then I'll come in and talk about how we can move forward from that slide.
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, chairpersons, board members, CEOs, partners, sponsors, exhibitors. I'm Geoffrey Onga, General Manager of Baxter Point. I'll be taking you through the value creation process of Gulfcap Real Estate. So you can see what I'm displaying there. You would have your bare land, so we would come and assess the land. We'll take you through our inception process, where we do land advisory. We are stemming off big data. I think it was discussed yesterday. We really have a wealth of bank in terms of data. So we'll take a product for your land, and you know not everything works everywhere. So after picking on the land, we will bring in our real estate advisory. This is project development, project management, and structuring of the project. Then you'll do the funding options and the deal structuring. So this is what we do at inception. Then we move into the planning and design. We do all the end-to-end studies, market studies, the EIAs and whatnot. We come up with a product for your site that would really speak to your members and also at a personal level. We are giving you something that you can live for maybe your lineage, let me call it that. So we really have a wealth of information around affordable housing, and our product is tailored for the low end to mid-market. So this is the product that you go for mostly as SACCOs. So after planning and design, we go into financing. Part of our group is what Jerry was saying, the investment bank, and also Gulf African Bank. So we would bank on, partially we can do a deal about your funds, and also include what fundraising Jerry would bring in. Then we come up with a product that is well financed and has an offtake and can now go to site. And then that's now where we come to site, we do the development, we do the approvals, the construction, and we draw down on the fund. You will get day-to-day progress. We have this smart way of viewing how the site is moving digitally through your phone. So you'll get, even your members can get day-to-day updates on what's happening at the site. Post-construction, we don't leave it there. We do end-to-end. We can take you through again to operations, where we are really big on property and facilities management. You just sit back, watch your house or whoever is living there, get updates about the house, the community. We operationalize the lifestyle bit, so you don't just have a house. We bring in the social clubs. If you have kids, they get to experience whatever we get to bring for you in the communities. So Gulfcap has this end-to-end process and map that we have geared for such parcels. So with that, I'll close. We are opening to partner.
Board members here. So we want to talk about what legacy we're going to leave behind. If they say chairman of a certain Sacco left, or this board left, what did they leave it with? I mentioned we have a small Dubai in Kenya. It's actually called Buxton Point. And we'll be offering a bus tour tomorrow after the session to take you and experience this. It has a lot of what we call flora and fauna. It is available. There's even a baby center, like what we can call a daycare center for babies to go and sit there. There's a basketball court, there's a swimming pool. And imagine how much those houses are going for. I think the lowest is about 2.3 million. And we also have another project which is also affordable housing in Nairobi, near Pumwani Starehe area. And also the property is the same layout that you're coming up with. And what you're saying, this is something we want our teachers to experience. And the financiers are you, because you want them to take up, I would say, either mortgages or a loan facility, and they get a lifestyle change. As opposed to what we've been seeing, we'd want to also see in Kapengura, is it Ekopila? We'd want to see a Dubai in Kapenguria. We'd want to see a Dubai in Eldoret, a small Dubai in Thika, and not just in Nairobi or not just in Mombasa. Most likely, I'd like to proceed to the next one. This just speaks about what we do. If you are to move on to the next slide, it shows about the deals that we've been able to do in USD. That's about $1 billion. I already mentioned what you are able to do. If you look at one side, it's normally banks and real estate we've been able to do all the way in Dubai as well as Saudi Arabia. The good thing is our chairman has a wealth of experience. This is Suleiman Shabal. He was the one who was about to be the governor of Mombasa, and he had to step down for the current. But he has a passion for real estate, and he has a passion of changing lives. And not just changing lives, creating a lifestyle, okay? And what we are saying when it comes to utilization of your own funds, we have two options. For any project, you might decide to use your own money into that particular project. Now, should you wish to do that, we have investment funds that you can place the funds in. And you draw down as and when you need the money, and at the end of the project, you find that you have some spare change to do something. And most of these projects, today we are talking about transformation and innovation. If it's system upgrade, there has to be money that is set aside, and the CEO and the CFO normally have to talk about it, okay? And then when it comes to a project like real estate, it is not something that is done within a year. You have to plan ahead. So normally we set aside, we work with you to set aside these funds, put it in an investment fund, and a very good return towards it, and you can draw down when you need. Another pain point that we've seen is dividends. Because every year as you do the strategic short-term planning, the CFO, the CEO, and the board already have an idea of the dividends they want to pay for that particular year. Based on repayments, based on incomes that are coming in, you know maybe your target is 15–16%. Now we are saying we want to offer a dividend fund where you can be setting aside some money on the side, and we actually give you a rate of return that will be slightly higher than what you're targeting. If you're targeting to give 15, we are working with 17 to 19, and this is a fund that you can draw down at any time, so you're not locking it in. You're placing funds, and between now and most AGMs will be happening around April, May, June. That is when most AGMs are happening and you pay dividend. We are saying you can actually start these discussions and tell us where we've reached. We are seeing that dividend is coming to about 13. We need to hit 17. We need to hit 15. What do you think we should do? And we get to sit down with you and map it out. So what we are saying for a whole year, we are looking at that. So curing that headache. Some of the CSR activities that we're talking about is, number one, coming to train your members. And we also get to look at what we call super savers. You have some people who contribute more than the others. What do you do for these people? Because remember yesterday there was a pyramid. Was it a pyramid? And the bank is encroaching on your members. And you have this microfinance, and they're called fintech. See of fintech, these mobile loans on Apatiwa. They are encroaching into that space because we do not have offers for this the super savers. So developing a super savers fund is something that we're very keen on, especially with the SACCOs. When it comes to project finance, like I mentioned, we work with a lot of processing SACCOs. And at some point, working capital might be lacking. So we step in and provide working capital arrangements or finance for them to be able to cure that particular. We call it a marasmus or a kwashiako. Marasmus is too much. We call it a kwashiako because it is just one component. When it's marasmus, it means you're on your knees. Because marasmus means you're missing out on all the components, right? So that is what we are offering in terms of the solution when it comes to the investments. To wrap up, this is just a snapshot, or rather bragging rights of what the real estate company has been able to do. 120 years of experience, 64 billion of development value. This is handed over, and some that are working, some that are work in progress. 52 employees, first developer to deliver over 584 units in Mombasa. Okay? And this is something that you go there, you see the children are playing there. You're in your house and you can view where your kids are playing. You're in your house and you know your child is somewhere, there's a caretaker who's actually looking after them. Accolades, those ones have been put there. These are just some of the pipeline projects. IG Sacco, hello, hapa chini tuko na Kisumu. It is coming to be a city. We also need a marina over there. Sasa hii ni Riat. This is Riat area. I have been there. This is a master plan that is coming up in Kisumu. So opportunities are there. Like I said, we have to identify where the land is. We need to know where you want us to make that lifestyle change for the members, and then we get into talks on the end-to-end solution. And like we've mentioned, there's real estate advisory, there's off-take of existing projects. Like I mentioned, we have about 4. So this is on a personal basis for the ones who are here, and maybe for your family and relatives and members, should they want. These are existing projects that are ready for off-take. And then partnership and joint venture when it comes to the project development. Remember, like you said, they'll have to do a feasibility study, which is a bankability of that particular project and what we expect to come out of that project. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is a one-stop solution or a turnkey solution. I like using the turnkey because we are trying to turn and transform what everyone gets to view, what SACCOs are. Let's change that mindset that, we are only there to do savings and loan. Let's also leave a legacy of something that we've been able to do for our members. And out of all this customization, project diversification, the main thing is we need that experience and world-class capability. You need partners that have been there, that have done it, they have results to show, and they're actually delivering to the people or the public. So I think those are my closing remarks. If there are any questions, our tent is outside. Our team members are distributing something. It's a pamphlet or backstone. But remember, seeing is believing. So tomorrow, the ones who would love to go for the site visit, please register at our desk so that after the session and after lunch, we will take you there, return you here, or if you want to stay there for a bit, we can leave you at Buxton property. Karibuni.